Oh yeah, welcome back to another rendition of Floral Foolishness.
Sports.
Hey, we actually got it on time, and now we're on island time with you fine listeners. Welcome to Floral Foolishness. If it's your first time, we're going to talk about, sometimes debate current topics inside the world of sports and society around it, no matter how unbelievable or ridiculous they may be.
And if
All
it's not
while,
your first time, we're going to do that too.
yes, we don't discriminate. We'll
True.
even argue with you. Well, maybe not like here, but whatever you're thinking, you're wrong. It's the opposite. So there you go.
Exactly. Yeah, no, you're wrong. We're right.
Yep, that's right. That's right. So we're doing this while rocking crunchy island vibe. I'm Stoczy, and with me as always is the Dragon Wrangler, Jeremy Phelps. So Phelps, opening statements. What's on your mind this
Yeah.
week?
So I saw this like a week ago and thought that it was worth talking about. And I guess it happened a while ago. So, I think it happened like 2021 or 2022. But there was a man that got arrested. And the reason he got arrested was because he trained his dog to throw bricks at people when they ring his doorbell.
Good dog.
He just didn't like visitors, and so he literally it's like this big pit bull. He like taught his pit bull how to just throw rocks and bricks at people whenever they come to his door.
Good dog.
And so I don't even know what you charge him with at that point. Assault through a dogly weapon. But whatever the case might be, I just thought it was worth bringing up that yeah, no man literally got arrested because he trained his dog how to throw fucking bricks at people.
That's fantastic. I could just see it now. The dog picks up a brick, throws it, and while the brick is heading towards this dude's head, you just hear from the dog, obviously, just darling because it's a pit bull. So, Mr. Worldwide.
Mr. 305.
Absolutely.
I think that
This
would make it even more terrifying is if after the dog threw the brick, he just goes, fireball, and then hits him.
That would be great. He has like a fucking like what's that movie with the Macaulay Culkin that I
Hold
can't
on.
remember. Yeah, Home Alone. It's like a whole total of Home Alone setup where he like puts oil on the brick, and as it throws it like ignites on fire. Fireball, darling man. Yeah, it's gonna be great. That's
Who
fantastic.
let the dogs out? Pitbull let the dogs out. Fireball.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So yeah, that's worth noting. So next time you think, you're going to knock on somebody's door and try and sell them as a Jehovah's Witness or whatever you're trying to harass them with, you're going to get fireballed.
Yep,
Dog.
exactly.
Damn right. All right, that's a good one. So I've been in this dilemma all week about what to talk about. There's three opening statements that I think I could go with. Two of them I shared with Wrangler earlier this week, and then one magical one just landed in my lap yesterday.
Yeah.
Um, so the first one was going to be I'm at the point in Grey's Anatomy now where Dr. McDreamy is having uh, he's kind of being courted by the federal government to work for him, and there's one part where it's
That's
like,
just so
please,
good looking.
yeah, exactly. It's like,
You can work for the FBI. It's just really attractive, man.
yeah, that's all agents are, man. Come on, you should know this. Yeah,
Espionage.
yeah, exactly. You're not going to not trust somebody who looks fantastic, right? And so I'm just trying to think because they don't ever really show it, but they're like, all right, he gets a phone call. It's like, please hold for the president of the United States. It's like at that time, it's Barack Obama. So, like, what did Barack Obama and Dr. McDreamy talk about? Just like, now, Dr. McDreamy, I hear you could get lost in your eyes, and I would like this to happen very much. And just, what would that conversation
My
go?
wife, Michelle, also finds you to be a very attractive man. And I find it very okay with myself that I'm willing to admit that we both think you're just very, very handsome.
Very, very, very. We want to pay you a lot of taxpayer dollars to be handsome. Now, let me be clear. We're going to have you do something. We don't know what yet. What the hell would that conversation go like? I think it'd
I
go
will
just like,
make my next campaign platform over the fact that we need to pick Steamy over McDreamy because he's the more good looking of the two very good looking men.
Oh man, and yeah, I'm already past the point where McSteamy died, so that was a heartbreaker.
We'll bring him back.
Yeah, I hope so. I want a zombie McSteamy, like Zom Steamy. Just
McZeamy.
yeah, yes, that would be great. And just Rick Grimes in the background, like McCarl, or like that would be great.
We go to the hospital's like, oh, he's a zombie. I don't want to get bit, but he's so good looking. I don't know, maybe. Here.
Yup. And then there was another one that I completely forgot, so I guess that one's out. But the one that I ultimately wanted to talk about to start this bad boy off is, and it kind of goes well off of our last episode where we were talking about, Christopher Walken, you
Yep.
know. And so I saw a story because, the phones are like Skynet. You say something and then it's like, we're going to find stuff for you. It's not creepy. Um, and so apparently, way back when the original Star Wars was going on, Christopher Walken was almost Han Solo. Okay.
Really?
Yeah. How different would the entirety of American culture be if Christopher Walken was fucking Han Solo? Uh,
Chewie. God, get to the Millennium Falcon.
now, Darth Vader, I don't like your tone. Just, God, how great would that have been?
Oh, why are you trying to blow up my planet?
Yeah, and then Jodie Foster was gonna be Leia.
The Silence of the Lambs chick?
Mm-hmm.
Isn't she super fucking Southern, or is that
Mm-hmm.
just Silence of the Lambs accent? So Princess Leia is just out there with a Southern accent coming from all around.
I mean, just think of like the contrast in accents there. Just Christopher Walken, like Leia. I really think I like you, and then
Oh, Han, I want to get away from you, but you just keep on coming in here with your good looks and your noodling. Oh, I can't resist you, Han.
you kissed your brother. What are you doing? You know,
Hey, it's just like kissing my cousin. No big deal now.
Star Wars meets Ancestry.com in a whole other world. That's exactly how that happens.
23 in Jar Jar.
oh, oh God. 23 and Jar Jar. Oh man, I really want to take those Stanley cups that everybody has and just draw Jar Jar Binks on all of them. Just just make it even more offensive. Those fucking things. Like, I don't know about you, but in high school, that was the thing that all the preps had was these fucking styrofoam Chick-fil-A cups. And they would just fucking shake the shit out of them all the time to let you know that they had them. And like that sound still bothers me to this day.
That's why they have the crush ice in Chick-fil-A. So that way you can just let them know that you're coming down the street with your Christianity and your hatred for the gays.
Right? But like on the flip side of that, now we got these Stanley things, and they're just as fucking annoying because it's like the same thing but metally. Like,
Yeah, but the
great.
ice is still ice, so that part hasn't changed.
I guess so. I guess so. But okay, so before we get into the first topic of the week, in an alternate reality, who are you casting as Jar Jar Binks in episode one?
Uh, Pete Davidson, even though I hate him, I feel like he fits that role. And if not, then probably Kanye West.
both very solid picks.
So you're a gay fish. Jar Jar's not a gay fish. Well, Jar Jar likes fish, and he likes fish sticks in his mouth. So Jar Jar's gay fish.
I would just like it to be Randy Quaid. Like enough dicking around with this. Randy Quaid is Jar Jar Binks IRL.
Just make it happen.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I also think Rick from Walking Dead would be a pretty good one too. Jar Jar, Jar Jar.
Oh, that would actually be pretty good. Yeah.
Death Star coming right at you, Jar Jar.
This is a jar tater ship. That's the route where Jar Jar Binks is actually a Sith Lord, is if fucking Rick Grimes plays Jar Jar Binks. That's it.
He's got like a fucking lightsaber version of Lucille. It's just a lightsaber that pops out when it comes out of the lightsaber. It's fucking baseball bat with
With barbed wire.
barbed wire around it.
But it's like lightsaber barbed wire, so it's like all glowy and shit.
I was thinking the other way. I was thinking the baseball bat would be lightsaber, the barbed wire was the
Ooh.
actual barbed wire.
So it like stabs you before it jabs you in half. Oh man, that's brutal.
Exactly.
But Sith Lord Jar Jar Binks takes no prisoners, takes no shit. That's for sure.
It's never a trap. It's just right in your face.
It's a Jar Jar. Yeah.
Also, in this alternate reality, who's Admiral Akbar just shouting out, "It's a trap"?
You can have a lot of people do that. But oh, I forgot his name. Say yours first so I could get this name right.
Shaquille O'Neal.
Shaquille O'Neal.
Oh, a trap with the tractors.
Oh man. Okay. I feel so bad for getting his name. But the late Gilbert Gottfried, I think, would be a great Admiral Akbar. I'm not even gonna try that voice.
The most annoying voice ever. That's amazing.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that would be great. Just oh god, I gotta try it. I'm gonna do such a disservice, but it's a trap. Just oh god, God rest you, Gilbert Gottfried.
I also weirdly think Christian Bale could do it, but only Christian Bale who's pissed off at like the stagehands Christian Bale.
Oh god.
It's a motherfucking trap, you motherfuckers.
I mean, by that point, we could also throw Nicky Cage in there too, right? Trapping me won't bring back your goddamn bees.
Trapping me won't bring back your goddamn planet.
Yep. Yep. And so that's how you really do Star Wars, folks.
Yep,
Yeah.
I'd buy it now.
So next time you're back watching the original trilogy or the sequel prequels, just remember Gilbert Gottfried is watching you.
Yep, and letting the world know.
Letting the world know, just like we're about to let the world know with our first topic. And don't get confused, it's not the Giuseppe Stromboli crime segment of the week, but rather allegations of rigging college foosball games, or as you might know them as college football games. According to former quarterback Mo Hassan, the New York mob had influence over college football games and actively rigged, in particular, Bama games in their favor. Or maybe not in their favor in certain instances. Allegedly, many players from across the SEC took cash payouts for the rigging of some of these games. So, Phelpsy, let's make sense of this. The mob really taking over college sports, or does Mo have to actually do the pass part of Puff Puff Pass?
I find it interesting that the guy that came out played at Vanderbilt. Because Vanderbilt year in and year out is the worst team in the SEC at football.
They're also the only team that could probably read.
Yeah, which there's a lot to be said about as well. So for me, I find it interesting that a team that lost every game is now blaming it on the mob ties. To me, this is very similar to like the guys who were like, oh yeah, the Chiefs won the Super Bowl because the script leaked, and the NFL, they're an entertainment, they're not a sports, so they can rig it, and so they rigged it. No, I don't think that there's any level of I shouldn't say I don't think there's any level. I'm sure there's a level of influence, but I don't think it's to the point where they're literally predicting the outcome of every single game the way Mr. Hassan is alluding to here. He's essentially saying that every single game is influenced and the mob has the final decision. I'm sure the mob wants their ties. I'm sure they want to have their influence. I think it's the same way that like you or I could like send like a death threat to somebody and be like, hey, if you don't throw this, I'm gonna whack your family. Like it's the level of like how serious you're really going to take that at that point. And I'm sure they probably try to pay players off, but the idea they could pay off an entire team at Alabama and every single kid would say yes and keep their mouth shut, I just can't see that being the case, especially nowadays in the time of the NIL where kids are already making stupid amounts of money anyway.
And just thinking about it, if they're rigging, and because look at Alabama's success too in the late 2010s when
Yep.
this guy was playing. Um, Alabama won a fucking lot. And if you want to rig a sports competition, you rig it with the better team taking the fall. That's how
Yep.
you do it. But in this scenario, it doesn't make sense. It's essentially, this guy's suggesting that you are, as a mob, going to every other team in the
Mhm.
SEC and buying every single, or maybe not every single player, but you're getting every single impactful player. That's
Well, not only that, but then you're also not only paying off the team to throw it, you also have to pay off the other team to win. Because what if you pay off this team to throw it and the other team just doesn't have a good day? Like you have to pay off both sides of it at that point.
right. It doesn't make sense at all. Like on surface value, it doesn't make sense. Like the mob has never been that successful in rigging games, other than I would say the NBA in the ref scandal with Donaghy, which we'll kind of get to here in a little bit. That
Oh,
kind of plays into our next segment too. But it really, that's still just one entity across the entire NBA, right? Like if you think of
yeah.
other cheating scandals, like in college basketball before when they got to some of the Boston University area teams, they would really have maybe one team, but you're talking about an entire conference with hundreds of players on each team.
Well, and the other piece that goes into it as well is not only an entire conference, but arguably the best conference in college football. So now you're talking about not only getting those impact players to buy in, but also potentially hurting their own draft stock year in and year out. I mean, the SEC could have the top 10 picks every single year. So to go to a kid and say, hey, here's $100,000 if you go, 14 for 45 passing, no, that's going to cost you 20 million on the back end. I don't think I'm not saying the SEC guys are fucking geniuses, but I don't think there's any player stupid enough in the SEC to say, oh, you want me to tank my own draft stock? Sure, that makes sense. Let's do that.
Yeah, and what makes this Mo guy's allegations even weirder is that they allegedly offered him $300,000 to, throw a game that he was playing and starting as a quarterback for. Which, number one, this is not a consistent starter. I think he had less than 10 starts overall throughout his entire college career.
He
Uh,
started at USC before he transferred into Vanderbilt.
yeah, and number two, it's fucking Vanderbilt. Like,
Yeah.
I don't think they're that worried, right?
Well, not only that, but at the same time, you look at it and Alabama's winning this whole thing year in and year out. So you're saying year in and year out, essentially what's happening is the mob saying, hey, other 11 teams in the SEC, here's so much money that Alabama wins it all. Well, then Alabama's already the betting favorite. If you're going to go out of your way to pay off a game, you're going to pay the favorite to lose. You're not going to pay teams that keep Alabama winning because you're making less of a profit on it. It doesn't make
Exactly.
sense.
Exactly. Unless you're going with like high cash payout to get low return, but it's so risky still.
It still doesn't seem like you need to at that point, though. Like it just, if you're going to pay off Vanderbilt and Alabama, you pay off Alabama to throw it against Vanderbilt because you'd make 12 times what you'd make by Alabama winning a game they probably would anyway.
Right? Yeah, it just the whole thing doesn't make sense. So I guess that gets to the second part of this topic. What the fuck is Mo smoking?
If I had to take a guess, I'd say probably whatever the fuck Jar Jar Binks is smoking in every fucking Star Wars movie.
Darth Jar Jar returns.
Do you think Darth Jar Jar and Dark Cousins could be like mortal enemies or they'd be on the same side?
Ooh, I think they're going to be mortal enemies, but it's going to be for a very stupid reason.
Okay.
Like I could see Dark Cousins being like, "Well, golly gee, Mister Binks, sir, Lord Binks, sir, I see that you stay up late with the women of the night, but you know what? I think we could get along." And then Christian Bale Jar, or who did we say it was? Not Christian Bale Jar Jar. It was Rick
We did
Grimes Jar
well.
Jar.
Gilbert Godfrey Jar Jar.
No, no, no. And everybody's going to get along, and that's not going to be Sith Lord Jar Jar. It's not going to be Gilbert Gottfried.
I
He's
also
not
said
going
Pete
to.
Davidson Jar Jar made sense too.
Yeah, but I
Jar Jar? I think Nikki Cage Jar Jar works for this.
Nikki Cage, yeah, I could see Nikki Cage going to the dark side as Jar Jar, even though he is a Trekkie. So got to acknowledge that. But Nikki Cage is, just out there like, well, Dark Cousins, I think we could join sides, except I really don't like your Michigan mansion because he's all offended that his New Orleans one got
Yeah.
repossessed in a galaxy very close to us here at home in the United
Well,
States.
I do agree with you. I think they'd be mortal enemies, but I think it's even simpler than that, honestly. It's that, Dark Cousins is, even as Dark Cousins, still very much a Christian man. And Nikki Cage worships the god of Nikki Cage. He worships himself as his own deity. So I think there's just a level there that Dark Cousins would have an issue with that. And that's why they'd be mortal enemies.
Okay. So let's keep continuing down this route of Darth Jar Jar Binks. Okay, so what's his? I think his Sith name is also just Darth Jar Jar Binks, just because, well, or Lord Binks.
Dar Dar Binks.
But okay, so at some point, Palpatine has to recognize that. Oh my God, there's another one out there. Rule of two for the Sith. You can't have that shit.
Right.
Only one master and one underling, which I guess Binks is just going to come into it as the master just because he's like so powerful. But how does that fight play out between Palpatine and Jar Jar Binks after, like, let's say it's like episode 3 now, Revenge of the Binks.
I think I mean our Nikki Cage Jar Jar in this scenario, has his like own Jedi powers, but it's something almost incredibly useless, just like controlling the bees. And so it's going to be a situation where Emperor tries to shoot lightning, and there's just like this bee shield that like pops up and like absorbs the lightning, and then Nikki Cage just walks around the bee shield and just dick picks him right in the dick.
Oh man, I love those videos when they came out of why Jar Jar Binks was actually the strongest character without the Force, anyway. So getting a dick kick by a dude who basically jumped 40 feet in the air to dive into the water,
Yeah.
yeah, that's gonna hurt a fuck ton. Doesn't matter how many midichlorians you have or whatever.
But to be fair, I mean, there's a lot of layers to this because we don't know what's under the Emperor's robe. He might have a chastity belt on there. Jar Jar might break his own foot.
Or Jar Jar might break the chastity belt.
But there's so many layers to this.
There really is. There really is. Meesa, kick your ass. Oh, that
So
would.
who's the Emperor in this scenario then? So it's also very relevant to this.
I mean, I would just keep it the same, but yeah, hey, let's play along with it. Who could be? Oh, John Travolta. 100%. It's John Travolta as the Emperor.
See, I was going to say Tyreek Hill.
Okay, let's hear it.
I just think Tyreek Hill as the Emperor makes a lot of sense because he basically looks like a king right now anyway. And so I mean, just feel like, fucking Cheetah would be like ready to shoot lightning and he'd like shoot it and be like, yeah, I got you, bitch. Ha! And then like hit him and be like, oh, lightning fingers, motherfucker. Ha!
Unlimited
And then,
power.
when he tried to kick him, he'd just run really fucking fast. And I don't know, that'd just be the whole thing. I think it would work really well for Tyreek Hill being our Emperor.
Dodge you like a dodge my beat my kid lawsuit. Yeah.
I saw a meme today that's sadly accurate that Tyreek Hill got more women pregnant this year than the Panthers had wins.
Holy fuck.
Tyreek Hill got 3 women pregnant, none of them being his wife, and the Panthers had 2 wins.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's Jesus Christ. Yeah, okay, he wins.
That's going for a new record here.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And then at the end, you just have Sam Jackson come in and like finish off both of them. And then original series doesn't happen. No Luke Skywalker. That's how
So
Star Wars fixes itself. Yep.
Sam Jackson is Anakin in this scenario.
No. Sam Jackson's still Mace Windu.
Yeah. I don't know. I just think I mean, really, in this universe, I think everybody needs to be somebody different. So if that's the case, I feel like he can't be Mace anymore. The same way, like Yoda can't be Yoda anymore. I think.
We're gonna get a different puppet master for Yoda. What?
No, I think we changed like the voice. Yeah, I think instead it's voiced by like Tom Segura.
Hey,
Luke, why are you running? Well, we got all these bots.
Yeah. Luke, I am your box. Yeah. I think he should be Anakin. After that, I think he should be Anakin.
Okay,
Just for
I
that
can
line
get
to make
down.
sense.
I can definitely get down on that. All right, well, in that case, then I mean, Yoda's obviously fucking Joe Exotic.
Is who?
Joe Exotic. Luke, you better move those little ass legs, you bitch. So in this scenario too, then that actually opens something else up. The Emperor or Vader, Vader can be Carol Baskin.
Oh shit. Yep. Anakin Skywalker is now Carol Baskins.
Tiger Wars.
Oh my god. That would holy shit. Yes.
You only overdub it. You don't actually change the scenes. You just got Yoda jumping through the air. It's like, ha, bitch, ha, ha, bitch.
Oh, man.
She fucking stabbed me. She fucking stabbed me.
But in this scenario, Yoda ends up beating Carol Baskin's Anakin instead of Obi-Wan, who I think is just also going to be Randy Quaid and just does nothing instead in the
Before I
original
say
series.
this, I actually kind of want just every single person on the Force side to be fucking Joe Exotic and every single person on the Empire side to be Carol Baskin. Just imagine the end where he gets his phone where Luke gets his arm cut off. He's just like, ah, you cut my arm off, you bitch.
uh, or, or like the redemption moment for Vader. Instead, Joe Exotic just leans in and just goes, "Well, you might have a little light side in you." Oh yeah, I think that would be fantastic.
Hey, I went down to Darth Vader's dark side last night, that bitch.
He was all charry. Oh yeah. All right. So yeah, in case you're lost, we started off talking about college football games getting rigged,
I'm fucking lost at this point.
and so that's where we're at with this. Yeah, so we're just gonna let that sleeping dog just lie and move on to the next topic. Coming to and we'll probably go back to Star Wars because that's a lot. That's a lot of fun.
Yep.
Um,
Agreed.
but oh yeah, big time good stuff there. But we're going to the world of basket hoops where officials are doing the Lord's work. Timberwolves' Rudy Gobert made a money sign directed at an official, suggesting that said official was being bribed in an overtime loss to the Cavs earlier this week. The NBA responded and fined Rudy Gobert $100,000 for this action. Jay, overreaction or justified punishment?
Overreaction. I for years have been one that thinks that like taunting and celebrations and all that there needs to be more of in the game. Because I don't believe that sportsmanship's a real thing. I think that it's a bullshit made up concept, just like the female orgasm. No, joking. No, I think that we're in a time now where like we've kind of gotten away from sportsmanship, and I think it's kind of an antiquated thing that we continue to focus on it. Like I think back to like Ocho Cinco and like it was a
And Steve
great
Smith.
yeah,
Yeah.
Steve Smith, fucking Chad Johnson, like fucking Des Bryant, like all these dudes.
T.O. Yeah.
T.O. is on this. T.O. is a great receiver, phenomenal receiver, Hall of Fame receiver. But what he's best known for is like pulling out the Sharpie or like out of his sock or like working out in his driveway shirtless. Like the ridiculous shit is what he's known for. Like Tyreek Hill is an amazing receiver, but he's gonna be known for getting like 47 women pregnant. Like it's
And
great
beating
as
all of those
football
children and
with
women.
sticks. With
Yep.
sticks, yes. I just think there's a level to it of like if we're gonna take like taunting out of the game, and a lot of times it's not even necessarily intentional taunting. I just think we're stupid at a point where like what why? Like because we don't want the kids to see it, the kids are gonna do it anyway. The kids do it even if they don't see it. So I think we need to go the other way, and I think you should get fined if you don't taunt well enough.
Your chirp game is off. 20
Yeah,
grand. Yep.
you hit a three and you don't get in the other guy's face, you're benched.
I agree with you with the whole sportsmanship thing that it's an antiquated concept that I believe was very misguided. It's just one of those things that I don't know. When you think about like when the YMCA was formed and all of those places that were kind of using sport as a venue to recruit for religious purposes, and then all of a sudden, sports are this they build character and have
Yeah.
all of these other ancillary properties to it. It's like, no, that's bullshit, man. We all know it's bullshit. So yeah, I have a lot of problems with this too. I think Rudy Gobert should fucking hire a private investigator on those fucking officials. I mean, if he really thought that they were rigging the game, why the hell not go after them? Screw it. Prove that they were, and then sue the NBA for punishing you.
Yep.
Shit. Yeah, I mean, like, why? Especially, we're what, maybe a decade removed from Tim Donaghy and all of the whole like game fixing for the mob shit that happened in the NBA. Like, that doesn't just go away. There's no
No,
no
sure.
fucking way.
And it's also just a level, and I know we talked about this on Plaster a couple times, but there's also a level of like, if you're going to expect officials not to be criticized, they need to be able to raise their level of officiating. We had
Yes.
like, there's certain officials, and like, there's a shortage of qualified officials to do it. But like, we had a game yesterday, a top 10 matchup. One of the officials going into the game, I turned to my boss. I'm like, I know this guy sucks.
Oh boy, did I lose you? Is my internet unstable?
It's incredibly unstable.
Holy shit. Yeah, you were getting right to the part where you're like about to rip into this guy. You just told the coach that, hey, this guy
Well, no,
sucks.
so we had him like 3 weeks earlier, and he was fucking terrible. And it was in a game that didn't matter, and he was still fucking terrible. We have him again yesterday, and he's again fucking terrible, like absolutely horrible. You just know going into it, this guy fucking sucks. The same thing happens in the NBA, right? There's only 30 teams in the NBA, so there's only so many officials. So you get the same guys night in and night out. There's only so many officials you can have, right? And so there's just this level to it of like, if you truly don't want them to be chirped, then they have to be better, plain and simple. Like I get that they're human and they're going to make mistakes. Some guys aren't as good as other ones. There's certain NFL officials who have been officiating for years and years and years and continue to get to ref because they don't fire them and like bring in new blood. It's almost like we talked about the mafia. There's almost like this fucking mafia of officiating. Like, oh, if you're in the family, you're in it. You can never be out. Like
Right.
that's truly how we want to, if we truly want to solve this problem, the solution is really simple because it pays pretty well to be a professional official. What you do is you say, at the end of the season, we're going to poll every single coach and player that wants to take this poll. They're going to rate their top five officials and their bottom five officials. And we're going to tally all the votes. If you're one of the bottom five officials in the league, you get basically banned from officiating the league ever again, and we call somebody else up. We call up the top officials in G League. We call up the top college officials. We call it the top high school, whatever. We just find somebody new to replace these guys. Because just simply saying you can't keep ripping these guys because they suck. Well, at a certain point, then fucking replace them.
Yeah, and really officials are such a big part of the game for every game. I mean, just think into Major
Absolutely.
League Baseball. They have pictures of every single umpire and they have them and they'll switch them out in the players' locker room before games. And under the picture, will have their name, some of the stuff that they like to do, like just so you could talk to them and be human with the officials. It's like, That shouldn't be part of the game. That shouldn't be part of any game.
You also can't tell me there's not grudges being held there from the official side too. And like, I'm gonna go back to like coaching high school lacrosse last year. I got a lot of penalties as a high school lacrosse coach. It's gonna sound really arrogant, but I knew a lot more about the game of lacrosse than anybody officiating in the state of Colorado, and they didn't care for that.
Oh God, my internet's unstable again. Really unstable. It's like so unstable. It's like a teenage kid.
You're super frozen right now. Hey, you're back.
I know. I was just saying because I think it's recording on my side that my internet is as unstable as a teenage
I've
kid.
heard all
So,
of it. I just got to stare into your still face the whole time. No, I was just saying, like, at the high school level last year, like, I think of two separate instances where we went into a game and me and the official, one of the officials already didn't like each other because we got into it in a previous game. And within like 5 minutes of the game, they'd basically be like, Coach, this is your last warning. I'm like, how? It's my first warning. Like, oh, because you carried it over from the last game? You can't give me a fucking final warning 5 minutes into a game. But there's got to be a certain level of that too. Of like, if these players truly feel that it's unbiased, there might be a lot of like pregame bias and prejudice going into it already because we have the same guys an entire career. There's guys who were officiating LeBron's first year who are still officiating now. You're telling me they're officiating him the same way now that they used to? No shot in hell. So then why don't we bring in new talent, new officiating, better officiating, and keep the best, see what rises to the top, get rid of the fucking dead weight.
yeah, really. And if it's really this love of the game thing that all officials claim it is, well, then you should love the game enough to get better at your craft. Plain
You
and
should love
simple.
the game enough to not get paid like $400,000 a year, or whatever the fuck they get paid for it.
Yeah, that's ridiculous too, how much they get paid.
They all
That
have
doesn't help the
full-time jobs
ego.
on top of it that pay like 200K is insane too. They're all like lawyers and shit, which blows me away.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a small, good old boys club there. That's for
Yeah.
sure. And we're tired of it.
Yeah.
If you can't tell, we're fucking tired of it.
I'll go
Just
officiate a game right now. I might not be good at it, but apparently that's not a fucking requirement. So,
no, no, not at all. Not at all. So, hey, we didn't do Star Wars there. That's good. Good for us.
well,
Good.
in this scenario, officiating is the Empire and players union is the rebellion and Ed Hockley is the Emperor. You just walk in and
Biceps.
the Emperor's fucking shirtless. He's got like his lightning fingers pushing the fucking barbell up as he's trying to like rep out some bench.
Oh my god. Fucking Ed Hockley. I thought about bringing him up, and God, that was like the one thing I didn't want to do because I knew I was going to get fucking mad. You want to talk about bad officiating? The whole Hockley tree of incompetence is just right up there.
But
Holy
yet
shit.
again, he's still continuing to get playoff games year in and year out because we're not asking the players in the league and the coaches, hey, who should stay and who should go.
And like his son ends up coming up and being an NFL referee right before he retires. Out of the whole pool of everybody, you could have gotten anyone. Nah, it's a fucking scam, man.
Jerome Boger, Cleet Blackman, fuck those guys.
Your boy Cleet.
I love Cleet. He's fucking, for somebody with a Texan name, he is the most Texan name in officiating. He fucking hates Texas teams. I don't understand it. It's like a cow tried to fucking molest him as a child, and now he hates the state of Texas.
And that cow is Darth Binks. So,
Dar Dar Binks.
mm-hmm. Gargar's gonna fuck you up. Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So okay, now that we got that out of our system, it's now time for the Giuseppe Stromboli redo of the week. Unofficially sponsored by D's Nuts Dill Pickle Flavor
Oh
Gourmet
yeah,
Peanuts. Oh yeah, D's
gourmet
Nuts.
indeed.
D's Nuts. Put them in your mouth. So yeah, I'm not gonna do the voice this week. Just yeah, I don't know. It's kind of getting stale, so we'll just do it normally, and see how it goes. In honor of the famous remake of the popular series of books out of the UK, we honor the pool playing, bag noodle wielding, and absolutely from New Jersey wizard with our Giuseppe Stromboli redo of the week, unofficially sponsored by D's Nuts Gourmet Dill Pickle Flavored Peanuts. D's Nuts, they're not your grandparents' nuts. All right, that's on their website. This week, we head to the land of make believe sports like basket hoops, but better. Leadville, Colorado hosted a sport called ski joring. Ski joring. If you never heard of this sport, I didn't hear about it until about an hour ago. But ski joring combines skiing with rodeo. Basically, think of water skiing, but instead of being attached to a boat or on water, you are attached to a horse, and they like lay down snow on like a street. So there are jumps and obstacles, that type of thing. So with all of that, excuse me, Jay, what's your ski joring nickname? And on the same lines of made up sports, go ahead and make up a sport for us.
Uh, I mean, in this scenario, you're going cross country skiing on the back of a horse. And I'd like to think that if I was the best ski jorer there is, instead of being behind a horse, I get behind a donkey and I'd still somehow win it. So I'd want to be Donkey Dan would be my ski joring nickname. And,
Donkey Dan.
because my donkey would just kick the shit out of every fucking horse and we would dominate ski joring.
Shut up, horse, get kicked by my donkey.
Yep. I don't know. I think if I'm creating a new sport, I mean, we talked in Plastered about the human NASCAR needs to exist, where it's literally like normal NASCAR, but it's like you're running in a track and you still have to do pit stops. You have to like stop and like, you have to like change your shoes out, but you can't do it yourself. You have like a pit crew to like take your shoes off and then like put new shoes back on. And like they have to like fill you up with like so much water, so they're like squirting it like in your mouth like a damn wheel. So I think the human NASCAR concept still makes a lot of sense to me. I think if we could combine like wrestling and golf, that would be great. So in this scenario, it's like it's not how many strokes does it take to get in the hole. It's like a timed thing of like how long does it take you to get the ball in the hole because you have somebody playing defense the whole time. So they're not allowed to touch your ball, but they can do whatever they want to obstruct you from making contact with the ball to get it into the hole, which is why the strokes don't matter. It's a time thing. So I'd like play defense on you until the ball goes in, and then you'd have to get it. I'd have to get it in faster with you playing defense on me than it took for you to score.
Oh my god! And if you're playing like doubles golf or whatever, or cart golf, that makes it even funner. Then you
You
have two on
definitely have a
two.
part in this scenario, but I think there also needs to be like roving, like almost like American Gladiator carts, to where like you're out ahead of the dude chasing you in your cart, and then just out of the blue, this cart just comes off the side, like jumps over the hill, like takes the top of yours off.
If we could pull them away from the Florida Man games, yeah, we'll make this happen.
I
Yeah.
also think I think that we need to combine like the beer Olympics with basketball. Um, so we take just very average basketball players like you or me who are not very good, and you have to drink like 15 beers before we play. Every shot that you miss or every shot clock violation, if you're gonna do like a 30-second shot clock, you have to drink a beer before you can come back into the game, but then your team man down. So it's like 5-on-4 the other way, but then all of them are pretty shitty at basketball to begin with, and also like 15 beers in. So dudes just like from like 5 feet away throwing up air balls. The final score is gonna be like 2-1.
Oh yeah. I'm I like that. I like that combining sport idea. Um yeah, okay. So my ski joring nickname is of course Bjork. Um
As it should be.
yeah. So that no questions, no need for discussion there. It just is.
You
It's
just
just
won
Bjork.
Sidori.
Yeah. The ski jorer named Bjork. I mean, come on, it writes itself. Come on. Figure
It's
it out.
amazing.
Oh yeah. But yeah, I do like this combining sports idea. Except I would like to combine like rodeo with bowling somehow. You know, like as long as you stay on, the bull while it's, kicking and stuff. That's how many actual frames you get the bowl.
Okay,
I think it makes sense, you know.
I like
Um,
it.
yeah, except for you got to do it like right after you're kicked off too. So like they'll just have the lanes all lined up for you, so you get kicked off the bull, and then you have to run in like speed bowl basically. I think that would be fun.
I dig it. I think anytime you're forcing somebody who cares a lot about something to do it way faster than they're comfortable with, that makes that sport much better.
Exactly.
I was also just looking to try to figure out what mountain is even in Leadville, Colorado, because I'm like, I don't think I've ever even been there. I thought it was Copper Mountain. Nope, it's Cooper Mountain, which is not Copper. Copper is a pretty big deal. Cooper is just the local mountain that I never even heard of living there for 2 years. So yeah, Leadville, Colorado is not a giant ski town.
No, no, I don't think. Where is it in the state?
Somewhere that's not Denver. I also think we're creating sports. I think we need to create like the pirate games, which are basically like, can you be the best pirate? Kind of similar like the Florida Man games. So it's going to be a series of events, and you have to pick a team of pirates. So you've got like a captain, and then you have like a first mate, and then like a whole bunch of like swashbuckling seamen. And that's actually their name. They're called Captain Stoats and the Swashbuckling Seamen. Um,
Captain Bjork Stoats, please, sir.
Captain York and his mighty, mighty seamen. But so I think the events are like obviously sword fighting, but we do it with like pool noodles. Uh, I think we've got the overtaking a ship obstacle course where it's like you have to like swim from your ship and like win in a pool noodle fight, and then I don't know, like steal their treasure and then like swim back to your ship with the treasure the fastest.
Ooh,
Obviously,
I want to modify that game. I want to
yeah.
modify that game. Okay, so you have two people that start on opposing ships. And then so one each goes. You have one person that stays behind on both ships to try and stop them.
It's
But
like a
in,
capture the flag almost.
kind of, it's like capture the flag, except for you have to steal and drink their rum, but you can't drink any of their rum until you're back on your own ship.
And they can take their own rum back from your ship.
Yes, exactly. Exactly.
I actually love this idea. We might need to do a pirate games just on land.
We just need some land boats now.
Yeah, right. Cadillacs for days. But no, I think you have like a parrot calling contest where it's not like who can get the parrot to come, but like who can get the parrot to say the most fucked up shit.
Tit fucker.
So, yeah. So like your parrot's like tit fucker, and mine's like, I'll play you, motherfucker. It's like, well, who wins that? But no, and then I think I don't know. I think obviously a beard growing contest makes a lot of sense. And then uh
Yup.
I just feel like we need to have like a pirate ship race, but it needs to be like you can't build it out of anything a pirate ship would actually be made out of. So you can't use like wood, plastic, or metal. Anything else under the sun is what
No
everybody.
wood, plastic, or what the fuck are you making this from then?
Well, that's for the winner to decide.
Just gonna have rubber ships out there. Like
Well, mine
fucking
sunk after 3 feet. I'm the winner.
yeah. Absolutely. I think you also have to have, because it is the pirate games, and here's a little bit of fun trivia for all of you folks out there. Captain Bluetooth, because he had an infection in one of his teeth that was so crazy bad. He used to like say all sorts of weird fucked up shit and have all these weird prophecies and stuff. But one of them that he had was eventually you could take an object and communicate with an object a mile away without any wires or anything. So that's where the name Bluetooth comes from. It's not just this, techie thing. It was actually a captain, a pirate captain that was fucked up in the head. So with that in mind, I think you got to have the Captain Bluetooth smoke off. All right, I really think you do here, like it. And whoever says the most fucked up shit after like, smoking some of the stuff that makes Snoop Dogg go like, Damn. Then,
You guys smoke that
then,
Martha Stewart?
yeah. Hey, they're homies. Like, Martha, man, you the felon. What do you think of this pirate slang, yo? Yeah. I think that needs to be part of the United Pirate Games.
I agree with that. Can I, just because we're on the topic of Snoop Dogg, can I give my Nardo Wick poetry slam of the week?
Oh man, I didn't even have that ready to go for me, so I'm glad you do.
The only reason I do is because the last time I did one, I did a Sexy Red song where she talked about that booty meat. And it turns out Nardo Wick and Sexy Red have a song together called Something. And I don't know if I should read Nardo's part or Sexy Red's part because both of them are pretty solid.
Ooh,
But
wait, let me pull up the song because then I could do the other line. What's it called again?
it's called Something, and it's by Nardo Wick and Sexy Red. Um,
Okay, let me get the lyrics up. Oh, I can't tell who's saying what.
the first verse, I believe, is Nardo. The second verse, I believe, is just Sexy.
Okay, I've never heard this just sexy red person before, so I'll do that one.
Oh, great. So the first verse is by the lyricist Nardo Wick, who we've established has a very distinct voice.
Mhm.
I don't even know if I can do it. That little shit got my head twirling. What she tried to do to me? Real short shorts. I see the dimples in her booty meat. And she not no born one. What she do excite me? If you're little hoopty hoo, bitch, I might
Might
be.
be.
It's something about her swag, something about her ass, something about when we fuck, the way she called me dad. And then he goes on to talk more about that Uchi make a inward sing, la la la. I got that Uchi in a headlock. Runaway won't get far. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I'll go to war about it. Fa 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 fa. Go
Go
sexy,
sexy,
go
go
sexy,
sexy, go
go. Go
sexy.
sexy, go sexy, go.
It's something about me that he loves. Say my number is sexy thug. Real north side bitch all my life been chucking blood on blood. Squeeze my booty cheeks each time he go to give me hugs. Ooh, I don't play about my man. Any bitch can snag a slug. Grabow!
Ow!
Let me meet his mama. Yeah, my baby really fuck with me.
Oh,
Never had a bitch better than me. Any in love with me. Wow. Real deal killer. But I got the N-word cuddling. Ass super fat. My titties sitting lovely. It's
it's this.
sexy. Yeah, okay. I think that's enough of Nardo Wick for one
His
day.
little hoopty woo, my little yeah, yeah, that's my babe.
Something about my bitch I love. I can't put my finger on it.
So
Yeah.
yeah, so
Poetry
that
is alive and well.
this poetry, well put.
It is alive and well. Unlike us for now, because that's going to do it. We got week 8 in the books of Floral Foolishness,
Art!
where it's always island time. And we thank you for joining us. Hope you had as much fun with it as we did. As always, I'm Stoczy, joined by the Dragon Wrangler, Jeremy Phelps. And as always, stay tropical, Fairbanks, Alaska.